I blinked open my eyes as I heard a creaking sound. I quickly sat up and listened. There was no noise. Stupid, creepy old house. I laid back down. I should have never bought this house, I thought. I closed my eyes. There it is! I heard it again! I heard it a couple more times, but louder. It sounded like footsteps. I finally decided it was a robber. I freaked out and hid under my blankets. Keep it together, I whispered to myself. I reached out to grab my phone, but it wasn't there. Huh? I said quietly to myself. It should be here! I heard the doorknob turn and looked around. I jumped into my closet. I peeked out of the closet through the crack in between the closet doors. I heard the door burst open and footsteps stroll into my room. Whoever they were wearing a red jacket and black jeans, along with black gloves. I could tell they were a girl. They also had tall black boots. She stopped in the middle of my room and cackled. I can smell you. She turned around and headed for my closet. The upper part of her face was covered by a red mask. The mask had the kind of black fabric that only she can see through on the eye holes. The edges of the eyes on the mask had twirly black swirls painted on it. Her hair and lips were silver. She also had a black t-shirt under her coat, the same color of her gloves. I closed my eyes and waited for the end. I heard the doors get ripped off the hinges and being flung across the room. She leaped and landed on me. She ejected a hidden blade from her sleeve and smiled at me. I froze. This thing wasn't human. It had wolf teeth. She covered my mouth with her frigid hand and cut my stomach open. It was the worst pain I had ever felt in my life. I tried to scream, but her hand was covering my mouth. After cutting my stomach open, she took her hand that wasn't covering my mouth and took a black glove off, and she had claw-sharp fingernails. She started ripping my entrails out. I felt dizzy and my room started fading, and my vision turned black. I was dying. My name is Alex. Eric is my boyfriend, also. I'm 17 years old, and I'm a girl. I was sent to the secret government test lab at 11. Eric is 17, also. And I will never escape from here. Great job. So you remember everything, Alex? Yes. I looked up at the scientist who was rating the paper I wrote to see if the last test worked. That's good. That won't be a symptom anymore. He sent me back to my tiny room. I shared it with Eric. Also, that is how we met. I sat down on the bed and waited for Eric's return. He is all I have. He's all I have now. My family couldn't take care of me and sent me to an orphanage. Some weird guy chose me to come here. I heard the iron door open and they threw Eric in. I was so worried, I hugged him. I thought they killed you. Well, I'm back, he said, hugging me back. I noticed a strange black mark on his shoulder. What's that? I asked. Oh, I just reacted to the test, he replied. What? It's not like I'll die or anything. I opened my eyes and realized I wasn't sleeping in my bed. I was in a chair in a testing room. A scientist came in with a huge needle that had a weird green liquid in it. What's that? I asked, worried. Let's hope the cure for cancer. I closed my ocean blue eyes and cringed as I stuck the needle into my back. My vision became blurry and I could barely see. Go get another test subject, I heard one scientist say. Eric? Sure. A different scientist ran away and came back with a worried look on her face. He... died, the other scientist finished, as if reading her mind. What? No. No, I whispered, rage overcoming me. They killed him. They will fucking pay! Die. What? I grabbed the needle that was now empty. I said fucking die! I plunged it into his chest and air now surrounded his heart. His heart stopped beating, but I wasn't satisfied. I started ripping his stomach open. I noticed how long and sharp my fingernails were. What did they do to me? I asked myself. I turned to the other scientist. She stood frozen with shock, but managed to say, Test failed. I started clawing out her insides before she could get any help. I stood up and walked toward Eric and started crying. I wiped my tears away with my blood-covered hand. I cried a lot more and looked at my blood and tear-covered hospital gown. I froze. My tears were purple. Okay, I need to find out what they fucking did to me. I looked around and found a mirror. I looked and cringed at my appearance. I had pure white skin and my once wavy brown hair was now silver. My lips are also silver and I had wolf teeth. I looked at my eyes and they were orange. I blinked and waited. My eyes were now green. I blinked again and they changed yellow. They changed every time I blinked. I blinked yet again and they turned red. Anyway, they are also cat-like. I looked at my victims. I laughed at how their insides became their outsides. I finished burying Eric in a graveyard. I run with unhuman speed and punch the window of a store open with unhuman strength. I hop inside and come out wearing a red coat, some black jeans, some tall black boots, black colored gloves, and a mask with curly lines at the edges of the eyes that only I could see through the eye holes of the mask. I picked red because it's the same as the crimson blood flowing out of my victims' torn up nerves and guts spilling onto the floor. I headed to another store and grabbed the parts to build hidden blades. After this, I searched for victims who will be a great sacrifice. And I will travel anywhere to find a victim to tear out their lungs. I looked and saw Eric? I ran over to him and hugged him. He whispered into my ear, "Let's find a victim." I looked at his body and he was dead for sure, so he was a ghost. Okay. Everyone be on high alerts because there appears to be a person escaped from an insane asylum, I heard. I'm not quite sure, but she is crazy. The newsman looked at a frightened 15-year-old. She appears to have escaped an attack. I was walking down the street yesterday, and I saw this girl. She was talking to nothing. And I overheard her talking about ripping someone's intestines out. I then realized she was covered in blood. I started running, but she heard me. She ran at me incredibly fast. I looked behind me and I saw her smile at me. She had wolf teeth. She had wolf teeth? Did I hear that correctly? The newsman asked. Yes, the girl continued. And I ran by my house and almost got killed until my brother came out. The girl started sobbing, and she went after him instead and I only got away because she was stabbing and clawing at him. Oh, Justin. She started crying. She ran away and a couple of people followed her to comfort her. Anyway, be careful. She could be anywhere.